I am Nick Clover from small group of companies, Appetite for Recruitment, Appetite for Work, Hospitality Jobs UK, Appetite for Careers, and the new up and coming Atole. How do we engage with operators? We engage on a staffing level, finding people for whether a quick term fix for during this staff shortage, training and keeping people in the industry, and we're building a community to really utilise certain tech elements and people elements really to get that balance right, to encourage people into hospitality, to keep people in hospitality, to give the mentoring and the training solutions, as well as keeping people sort of active and moving from one opportunity to the next as they climb their career. Okay, so in terms of attracting people to the industry, I don't think individual companies have the solution to attract people to hospitality. I think that's where companies need to come together to create a voice, work through the universities. We were doing really great things to change the mindset of, it's the old thing, change the mindset of it being an amazing profession. Look at all the case studies, look at all the amazing people that have done so well, who are industry leaders, that started as a KP, cleaning, running drinks, and this is who Little Johnny can be. But it's more importantly the actual working environment. So companies that have really changed, Gales being a great company, start early, finish early, the early bird, rather than using and abusing people. And there's many other companies. And it's not fair to mention all of them. I shouldn't have even probably mentioned one that are really looking at staff as the absolute key driver for the customer experience, all of the opportunities within the tech environment to get people into the industry and to keep them there. I think that's the key thing. Or to have a 5-year amazing platform to move into another industry, but they're still flying the hospitality flag. That might sound an odd way to put it, but it's kind of real. It's kind of real, and we've got a lot of case studies to work on. So in regards to people not using hospitality as a stopgap, there's two ways of looking at this. And actually the first way, which is probably the most important, is that's okay. So with our staffing agency, we'll bring people into Twickenham, to Wembley, to Ascot and standalone businesses. And for them to then get engaged to, this could be a career of choice, that stopgap individual is absolutely perfect for the introduction to hospitality. You fall in love with it, you have a great time, but there's also a really clear defined career path. Now what's happening at the moment is within the staffing industry, we know that there's been a 35% increase of salaries, which is fantastic, but it puts pressure on businesses. That's only sustainable if other costs are reduced, such as recruitment, which might sound odd from someone like me mentioning that, but actually the more that's reduced, the more businesses have a chance to flourish with the introduction of people and moving into that supervisory MIT chef training role, and takes the pressure off the business. Giving free mentoring and free training aspects and free profiles is something that companies really need at the moment, because look, it's not for the faint-hearted, but the winners are going to be big, and unfortunately those that can't quite cut it, and it's really sad to say, will have a tough time. But the industry itself is definitely not going backwards, despite all of the talk at the moment, which I don't agree with. Let's face it, we've all gone through COVID times. We've come out slightly different and slightly challenged, and the challenges are mounting. So wellbeing is an absolutely key aspect. I think what companies are doing at the moment, certainly the best companies we're talking to, are looking to reduce hours. They're looking to have a more people-centric culture, which people used to throw around far too much, but that's becoming really real. Actually hearing someone, actually listening to someone, actually taking time to understand where that person is, and having a better balance in terms of business expectation and the individual behind it. I think the companies that are really taking time for their people at the moment, and really that is the essence for me about wellbeing, is being heard, being understood, being listened to, and it doesn't take a huge amount of time. The productivity then increases, and it's almost flipping the thought process on its head. But it's not just words. It can't just be words. It can't just be values thrown around and culture thrown around and wellbeing thrown around. It is that actual human touch.